Testing. I just want to know, can y'all hear the audio? Anybody who's coming, can you hear me? Holly, if you hear me. Can you hear me? Tell me if you can hear me. Test. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. A couple of people on. Type in, let me know if you can hear me. That's what I really want to know, if you can hear me. But anyway, okay, good. Yeah, get on Harbor Freight. I just got back from Harbor Freight, okay? And looking at, and they've got two new engines at Harbor Freight. They've got a 224 series Predator and a 559cc Predator, right? So, you know, that's pretty good news. So, for those of you who don't know, the when it comes to building mud motors, especially if you go with Swamp Runner and you get, say, a what they call a small kit, you end up with you haven't had so many choices with motors. But now there have been other manufacturers that have come out with like 223, 224 cc size engines, and now Harbor Freight has with their Predators. Audio sounds great. You're the reason I got tie long tail. Good. Yeah. Good. Cool. Yeah. So for those just joining in, I just got back from Harbor Freight. I was just buying some gloves and stuff because I got some reels I need to coat. And they have two new engines. It has a red cowl. It has a red cowl, and it's the small block engine and the big block. So there's a 6.6 horsepower 224cc engine now, and a 15.8 horsepower 459cc. Now, what is it? It just means more displacement. So what I'm trying to figure out is what's the difference between the stroke and the bore. So trying to think here. Okay, here we go. If we could, just looking at, don't help an old man out with bad eyesight. Yeah, I don't see the stroke and bore listed here on the. No, here we go. Yeah, so the regular 212cc Predator, we know is a bigger engine than the 196cc Honda engine. Okay. The 200cc Predator has a bore of 70 millimeters and a stroke of 55 millimeters. That's the 212cc Predator. All right. Now, they had a comparison button here, but they don't. Now, the red cowl Predator, 6.6 horsepower, 224 cc's. Dadgummit, they don't list anything. I'm just trying to get a sense of the stroke and the bore. They don't list the stroke and the bore, so I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, well, all they list here is the stroke. The stroke is 58 millimeters. Stroke length 58 millimeters. That's all they list. They don't list the bore. So my guess is they have. Give me a second. No. Yeah. That's what it is. The stroke is 58 millimeters with the new one. The old one was 55 millimeters. So what you now have with the Predator engines is a stroke and bored engine straight from the factory. Dude, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. because they do that in motorcycle engines. Some they'll take a 250 and then they'll put a bigger piston in it and then sell that, and then they'll put a longer stroke in it, and by the end you'll end up having like a 350 engine straight from the factory, and it's reliable and all those sorts of things. I'm not big anymore on building these mud motors, but the fact that you can buy a 224cc Predator, that's going to give you all the performance that you would have gotten if had you bought like a stock Honda 196 and done all these crazy modifications to it. So you're getting a hot rodded motor from the factory with a warranty. And check this out, the RPM is 3750, not 3600 RPM. It's 3750 and 10.23 pound-feet of torque compared to the regular, which is like 8 pound-foot of torque. So you're getting a cup. It's like, again, it's just like you bolted on one of those Robertson's torque tubes and run up the RPM a little bit more and put a good air filter and stuff on it. So it's that's quite interesting. Let's take a look at the Let's take a look at the big block motor. Compare them here. Copy paste. I would share it, but you just get on harborfreight.com. That's the easiest way. I just wanted to do a quick live stream on this just because I really wanted to let everybody know. Everybody's always asking me, oh man, should I hot rod this motor? The answer is no, there's no need. Not when you can just get a couple extra pound-feet of torque just from the motor itself. Stroke length is 92 millimeters on the new one. On the old one, always something. It won't load exactly what I'm wanting. Engines. Old. Yeah, the old 420, like that I have on my big engine. See if it has it listed here. Yeah. So the old engine, the stroke length is 66 millimeters. On the new engine, wow, the stroke is 92 millimeters. Guys, that's a lot of difference. So it's a long stroke engine. That's the difference between 13 horsepower and 15.8 horsepower, basically a 16 horse motor. They both already have a bigger piston than the Honda, but now you get a choice of stroke. You can get a super long stroke with man. You remember the engines I built where I blow them up? The main thing we're doing is trying to get a longer stroke, and definitely we're trying to increase compression, but here you don't have to worry about that. What is the compression? See, the new big block has 24.5 pound-feet of torque, max torque. The old is 19.8 pound-feet of torque. So it's just a bigger motor, and they did it with the stroke and the bore. I would imagine the bore is the same, and then they just lengthened the stroke to get more power out of it. 10% more output than standard engines, and their standard engine has more output than your Hondas. That's pretty impressive. There is no upgrade for the 301. I didn't see anything about the 301. They have the 301, but now you're starting to think, if you're somebody who's thinking about should you upgrade and get a big block kit for your Harbor Freight motor, for your mud motor, as opposed to just sticking with your little small kit? It might be worth keeping your small kit and just getting the 224, and then you could do a stage 1 with the Roberts torch tube and all that stuff. I mean, it really just depends on what you want to do and how you want to do it. And it's I'm assuming it's the same again. With it's just a longer stroke, the engine's probably the same block, right? So, I haven't talked to Mr. Dobbs down at Swamp Runners on that yet, but who knows, man? Maybe that's I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys see? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nick mentions that he's gonna have to check it out because he's looking for making a bigger motor, taking a bigger motor, and turn your old duck boat into a tie long tail. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I mean, even with now, it'll be interesting to see what they do with the V twins, right? I mean, are they going to eventually launch a V twin that's like 28 horsepower or something that has, you know what I'm saying? That would be very interesting to see. The 3 horsepower is still, just that they don't have a bigger one for that. I don't see a point in trying to increase the horsepower there. You'd just be better off just to get the 212, quite frankly. Um, but that's actually pretty good news. That's really all I have. I just wanted to get here and share that. So check it out, harborfreight.com. If you're looking for a new motor, they've got some new motors. And they look like the Hemi. They look like just looking at I didn't get a good look at the side view in it because they're all in boxes and stuff. They don't have it up. They maybe had one on display, but I didn't. It looks like a Hemi engine. So it has the hemispheric uh, combustion chamber with the sort of the rocker arms that actually pivot on a horizontal post, kind of like in these drag cars and stuff, as opposed to just the cup style that's kind of rickety. So yeah, it's definitely something new. I wonder if they're gonna phase out the old ones because it'd be kind of hard to. They probably have a bunch of old, old ones. They'll probably be phasing those out. I wonder if they beefed up the engine block at all. You know, because one of the things is when the engine block is, if it's the same engine block, will it be as durable at the higher power level? That's the only remaining question. I'm wondering if they made a little bit better engine block. Now I'm just here spitballing. That is all I have. I think I'm gonna sign off. Should be back on the river tomorrow. We got bad weather here today. We're like tornado watches and everything today. And I bought a new trolling motor for the canoe. We'll be reviewing that tomorrow. Probably be on the river tomorrow, Saturday, and check for content. Check for another video. So probably this weekend. Just want to let you know. See ya. I'm out. Probably. End. Yeah.